Our next and last presenter is Emma Hardacre. Emma is a junior majoring in public relations. Emma hails from New Carlisle, Ohio. She's a Bonner Scholar and a PRSSA Professional Development Coordinator. Emma interned with Family and Youth Initiatives this past summer. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Emma Hardacre.
How do you incorporate faith, learning, and service into a daily job? This, to me, was one of the biggest things that I had to focus on this summer as I looked for an internship. What I'm going to talk about today is some history about Family and Youth Initiatives, or as everybody when I worked there called it, FYI, the events that I helped with as their PR person, and overall my takeaway from this experience. So a little background about FYI. It started over 42 years ago with one office that was solely focused on helping young mothers obtain supplies that they need to help raise their new babies. Today, Family and Youth Initiatives now has 2 offices, and they have 5 different programs that they work with helping save endangered young adults and children. Their goal is to empower families and provide hope. While I was working there, my first event that I got to jump right into as soon as I was hired was the Mother's Day Flower event. This was with the Parenting Network, and what I was able to help with this was to create bouquets of flowers that were going to be given to local churches that were then going to be given out to the mothers and grandmothers there at those churches. The next event that I was able to help with, which was one of my biggest events that I got to do, was with FYI's meet and greet. A few challenges that I had with this was FYI originally was going to have this meet and greet in person in April, but then COVID hit, so they were having to postpone this. So I had 1 month to turn this around and make it an online event using via Zoom. I also faced challenges of working with a new company that I never had been with and incorporating things that I had learned here at Waynesburg that they might not have known. One of them being prepared for meetings. I came in wanting to know what are your goals, your objectives, what's the budget for this, just basic things that I thought from learning in classes you need to know in a meeting. Another thing was once we got done with those nitty-gritty details and actually started to dive into this, was we were talking about puzzle pieces and how a puzzle represents Family and Youth Initiatives. So I had a request to make a 2-foot puzzle, big enough to be seen on Zoom, with the Family and Youth Initiatives logo. I was unable to find one that I could just order right away, so I had to actually go and create it. This is the puzzle that I ended up actually creating. I was able to paint it, print the logo, and put it on there, and as you can see, it is very noticeable on screen. And it was one of my biggest goals that I was able to achieve right off the bat with Family and Youth Initiatives. The event actually turned out with 30+ people that we were able to hold, and we were able to record the meeting, and they're now able to use it on their website as free advertising for the company. The next event that I worked on kind of simultaneously with the meet and greet was with a local high school and their senior graduation. It got pushed till June because of COVID again, but I was able to work with one of the organizations, one of the programs within Family and Youth Initiatives, Real Life Teen Choice, which these are 2 of the directors in the picture. And their goal was to still make these seniors feel like they were special, that their graduation wasn't just ruined because of COVID. So my job was to work with local businesses and getting donations given for us to be able to put in these goodie bags that the seniors would get as soon as they left the high school, as they left after graduating. Overall, the seniors, not only the seniors, but the parents, they were so happy that we were able to do this. They loved that we made them feel extra special. And one of my biggest achievements with this that I have to say that I'm so proud of today is I was able to get a local art gallery to donate 2 art pieces that were each $300 free. They gave it to us free to raffle off free to these high school seniors. So 2 of these seniors now have beautiful artworks that they may not have ever been able to get. Finally, the next event that I did also was the staff and board retreat for FYI. This one, my boss, Nikki, basically came to me and said, we want this done. do it. She didn't give me any rules, any boundaries. She said, this is all you. So I was really excited that I got to do this all on me. All I had to do was touch base with her. So I planned out the day. I found a location just down the road from our office, actually. Pretty cheap for what we were looking at because we're a nonprofit organization, so we don't have a massive budget. I planned the whole day from learning communication skills, which is actually in this picture. It was kind of like Pictionary, where one tells you how to draw a picture and the other listens and draws it. It was pretty funny to see some of the older board members play this game. We also used the Jenga game, and we wrote two of our strengths, built the Jenga, and saw how if we lost those strengths, the company came crumbling down. Overall, it was a really great day. Everybody loved it, and I even left time at the end of the day just to sit back and relax and get to know each other and the new hires that they actually were able to hire over the summer. My biggest event that I actually completed just recently with Family and Youth Initiatives was the Harvesting Hope fundraiser. I've never done a fundraising event before, so I was kind of new at this, but my events planning class that I had here in the spring helped me out tremendously with this. Again, struggling with not having our budget set at the beginning of this event, struggling with where we're going to fit about 300 people because of COVID again, and changing it completely in a 180 from the boring old spaghetti dinner after Mass that they used to have as a fundraiser for Family and Youth Initiatives. Another struggle we had with this event was when we sent out a survey asking people if they were comfortable with coming to an in-person event in October. Some came back and said that they weren't 100% comfortable, which is totally fine. So that just gave us another additive thing of adding in a virtual event. We worked with a local recording studio here in Springfield, Ohio, and we were able to make 3 good videos that were aired the exact same night as our in-person event. This picture is from the in-person event in October. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend because I was here in Pennsylvania, but I gotta say, the virtual event that they finished off, it was 100% worth the wait. And from what I heard with touching base back with them, there was 119 people who were actually in person, went with a smash, and they raised just a little under $21,000, which was beyond a budget of raising that they actually wanted. The last event that I'm still currently working on with Family and Youth Initiatives is the Grinch's Holiday Hoopie What. This event basically is just a breakfast with the Grinch with a twist on it. Instead of Santa, we're doing the Grinch. This summer I was able to do a toy drive that would lead into the toys being given out in December. I was also able to help pick the name for this event, plan when and where this was going to be, and help build sets and paint, and help with promotion that I'm planning to finish doing on when I get back from school here. Overall, my time with FYI has been 100% amazing. I couldn't expect anything better, and I am extremely excited that I went with it. I loved working there. It was 100% amazing. I got to work behind a strong, fierce, independent, God-loving boss, and it was a woman, which is really exciting to see as a young professional coming in. I absolutely love this place. And I'm very surprised that I love it, not only because I was able to incorporate my faith with the Christian work, but learning what I've learned here at Waynesburg and service that I have a passion for. I would 100% go back to them. Thank you for coming today, guys.
Okay, time for questions from the audience.
Yes, first, Chris.
Well, if there are others.
Matt said yes, sorry.
You mentioned in the beginning that FYI was for struggling young mothers.
Mhm.
Did you have any contact with them, and how did you sort of approach that? Because I know it can be an extremely unstable time in their life.
Yes, actually, I had a friend who actually was expecting, and I was able to direct her to FYI, and I was like, look, this is a great organization. You're almost 21, you're going to be a young mom, And I personally was really worried on how to approach her. And I went to my boss actually. I was like, Nikki, how do I do this? What do I go about? She's like, just tell her about us. Don't pressure her, just say it. And actually, she actually went and got the help there, and she's working with them on the programs that they have in the parenting network. So I think that was a big win again too in my whole process. But yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, just like older people that I know, in my life, I feel like everyone kind of has this where they just like go to work and they kind of are just doing that for the paycheck. Was it cool? Because it seems like you got to actually see people's lives be touched and kind of like really help people out on a personal level. So what did that mean to you to kind of be able to see the way you were helping improve people's lives and just give them help?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't just going for that paycheck type of thing or just to get the hours. To be able to see directly people's lives change, it's kind of hard as a Bonner Scholar. We serve directly, but there's never that validation that it gets changed, that we're able to help them in a way. But with FYI, like you said, I right there saw it. Like if a mom came in, they had parenting classes 1 week while I was there. And these moms learned how to, put in a car seat safely, or why not to shake their child as their child isn't going to sleep and is crying. As well as with the high school seniors, seeing just them being happy, I absolutely 100% saw it. And like I said, definitely would go back because I love seeing that immediate change in it. So I hope did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, Brendan.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you did like an event planning course here. You did a lot of event planning for FYI, and but like, what is like your dream job out of that, if you will? Like, is it event planning or is it a service-based project?
Ideally both. I really lean towards event planning, and that's actually the question that my boss Nikki asked me when I first got there as an interview. She's like, what do you want out of this internship? And I told her, I was like, I'm just finishing up an event planning class. I really like it, and I want to see if I can grow in this. And so that's why a lot of my internship was event-based. And event planning, yes. And if I can incorporate continuing to serve with a nonprofit, that's what I would do also too. Professor Krause.
Related to event planning, I saw the number, 119. Were there any discussions about COVID protocol?
Yes.
What I know Pennsylvania's requirements. How does that play in Ohio to have that many people? I also saw a photograph there of people sitting at tables with no masks on. How did that all factor into this plan?
So FYI is a small company as is. We only have about 30 people total, including our board. With the people sitting close at our staff retreat, there was others that had masks on, and they were allowed to choose if they wanted to. We were both outside and had a pavilion style building is where we were, so we were still open. There was enough social distancing done that way. That picture obviously wasn't, just because of the activity that was going on. And then with the Harvesting Hope dinner, with them coming, we looked for a place that would hold, like I said, 250 to 300 comfortably outside of COVID, so that within COVID we had the big enough tables that we could still socially distance, keeping the 6 feet. And other people, again, had the option while they were eating, they can have their mask off, but if they get up, to put it back on and things like that.
Just so you know, a lot of places it's mobility. If you're out and moving around, you have to have masks on. If you're seated at a table and it's eating, well, you can't even have a mask on, obviously, but it's tricky. It's a very tricky thing to navigate.
Is. Yeah, we had, especially for the Harvesting Hope dinner, that was a big concern from some of the board members there, and we spent 2-3 different meetings just talking about that solely. So yes.
Okay, thank you. Round of applause, please.